Today, we dive into a wave of developments making headlines across East and Southern Africa. These events have sparked intense debate, emotional reactions, and widespread calls for accountability, justice, and transparency. The first major story comes from Cape Town, South Africa, where online posts highlight protests calling for the arrest and prosecution of Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan. Demonstrators, according to circulating reports, are accusing her administration of responsibility for what they describe as a massacre in Tanzania. While these are allegations made by activists and critics, they have fueled a renewed debate about human rights, governance, and political violence in East Africa. As these claims continue to surface, many are starting to ask hard questions. What responsibilities do regional leaders carry when such accusations emerge, even if unproven? How should the international community respond when citizens express fear and outrage on such a scale? And most importantly, what does justice look like for those who feel unheard? In another developing story, attention has turned to South Africa's political arena. A widely shared post shows Julius Malema taking the parliamentary floor, addressing issues tied to the BOSASA scandal and naming figures like Gwede Mantashe and Nomvula Mokanyeni.
There could be, and I like what you said, that you want to act with evidence and only with evidence and overwhelming evidence so that you don't make mistakes and mess up these cases. But there are so high-profile people who are mentioned in BOSASA. One of them is the national chairperson of the ANC, who's a minister, Gwede Mantashe. The other one is Nomvula Mokanyeni, who ate chickens every December. Agrees, he said he was sending chicken every month that's supposed to go to prisoners. Is going to Nomvula and will such people not be people of interest? Because our inability to defeat corruption is that the high profile individuals with money don't get to be prosecuted. And these things came out public. We were all there and all of that.
So, Honorable Malema, I take the point. However, those investigations continue. What did hamper us is the evidence we sought. We had to get, the only other person who could give us that evidence was Angelo Agrizzi, who was also an accused. Angelo Agrizzi has, in the past month, now deposed to Section 204 affidavits on various individual matters that we did not have previously. We must now move with those matters. And they are among the
I'll tell you where I come from, Advocate. Khumalo gets arrested for labor-related matter. And then there are these people who have been eating chickens and eating food of prisoners and blessed with Austin Martins and all of that. A person is accused of irregular appointment, and that becomes a big issue when we've got this other. So when this is presented before us, it looks like there are others who are treated differently and others are treated differently. But I'm happy that you are saying we are coming close to making more arrests with the 204 we got from Agrizzi. So my question...
BOSASA matter has long been associated with corruption allegations, investigations, and political tension. Malema's renewed focus on the issue has sparked both support and criticism, reviving old wounds within the South African political landscape. As viewers, we must grapple with a deeper question: why do corruption scandals continue resurfacing across our continent, and what does this say about the systems meant to hold leaders accountable? Should citizens be demanding more transparency, or are these political battles simply repeating themselves without meaningful change? Meanwhile, in East Africa, online advocacy groups and activists have intensified their calls for unity against oppressive leadership. A circulating message urges Tanzanians, Ugandans, and all East Africans to stand together against what activists describe as violent authoritarianism under leaders such as Samia Hassan and Yoweri Museveni. This
Samia Hassan, the dictator of Tanzania. At this moment, Yoweri Museveni is helping the dictatorship there. Reports are saying that hundreds have already been killed. But because Museveni and because Tanzania is a member state, that is why you're not going after them. Ladies and gentlemen of the International Criminal Court, especially ladies and gentlemen of the OTP, the Office of the Prosecutor. We are here with a Ugandan delegation to tell you that you should be prosecuting Yoweri Museveni. Instead, you are prosecuting Joseph Kony. Let me show them also our message. Joseph Kony is Yoweri Museveni. And now I'm giving the word to my very honored comrade, Salongo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world must know this. Museveni is the real Kony. The real Kony who has been killing Ugandans since 1980. In 1981, he started a rebel group which has been terrorizing Ugandans and all its neighboring countries, including Congo. Museveni has managed to kill over 8 million East Africans, including Congolese, including Ugandans, Rwandans. He was part in the genocide 1994. I'm here to tell you that there is no Kony apart from Museveni.
Our friends from the police
who
have
has
already
been
arrived.
ruling Uganda since 1986.
How are you?
There is no Kony
Hi,
apart
how are you?
from Museveni. Thank you so much.
So, hello.
Hi.
How are you? You want me to say something?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Before these guys start. Okay.
So today, already after 1 minute, our friends from the police have arrived. We want to make very clear that we love the Dutch police. Because the reason we are demonstrating here is that the Ugandan police is extremely violent. That is why you should be prosecuting the commander of the Ugandan police, Yoweri Museveni and Muhoozi Kainerugaba. These Dutch police officers, although they are a little bit too active, but they will not beat us. And as you can see, they're taking it kind of easy, whereas Ugandan police would immediately start beating us. But what is important to say is that many of our comrades in Uganda are tortured and locked up, and they need justice. I'm talking about Eddie Mutwe. I'm talking about Alex Waiswa. Can you imagine that Alex Waiswa was right here demonstrating with us in peace, but he was arrested on bogus charges. I want to mention Kitsa Besigye, presidential candidate and even the winner of multiple elections. He has been tortured so many times and now been kidnapped from Nairobi and without a court is being held in prison. I want to mention Machete. I want to mention all these political prisoners that continue to be locked up with the support of the international Criminal Court. And I will say the corrupt International Criminal Court, because you have the moral obligation to go after criminals. Yoweri Museveni, as can be seen on this placard here, is responsible for 7 million deaths in Eastern Africa. He killed at least 100,000, but maybe even 400,000 in Luwero. He continued to kill in southern Sudan. Together with Paul Kagame, he invaded into Rwanda. You know the Rwanda genocide, 800,000 deaths. And then together with Kagame, they invaded into Congo, 5.4 million deaths. So, dear Ronnie, is there anything I left out in my message here to the International Criminal Court?
You have said it all.
Yes. So you should be going after other dictators as well. Especially, I want to mention Samia Hassan, the dictator of Tanzania. At this moment, Yoweri Museveni is helping the dictatorship there. Reports are saying that hundreds have already been killed. But because Museveni and because Tanzania is a member state, that is why you're not going after them. I am done. I'm going to say good.
Voices are demanding action from the International Criminal Court, citing concerns over governance, human rights, and political repression. While these remain allegations and activist statements, they raise crucial regional questions. How much power do citizens truly have when state structures are challenged? Can unity across borders reshape political realities, or does it risk heightening tensions further? And when activists speak of justice, what form should that justice realistically take? As the continent continues to grapple with political turbulence, civic activism, then public calls for accountability, one truth becomes increasingly clear: citizens are refusing silence. They are demanding transparency, justice, and leadership that reflects their hopes rather than their fears. The question now is whether these movements will lead to genuine transformation or simply fade into the noise of global politics. Thank you for watching. Engage with the questions we've raised, share your insights in the comments, and stay tuned for more thoughtful, responsible coverage of the issues that matter. The world changes when ordinary people dare to ask extraordinary questions.